I'm back at our school and now it's winter, or the end of winter, and the grass is starting to grow up and it's time to get out the mower. And the only problem is the mower has some faulty materials on it that need to be replaced. And the spindles on the mower are pretty screwed up. This is all completely worn out. This one, the blade won't come off. So I've had to replace them on the deck. And now it's time to put that little bastard back on. Over the last year, we haven't posted as many videos as we would like. Amongst the three of us, we've suffered some health issues that we've had to resolve. Stephen's still undergoing treatment for something that's cropped up in his life. I've recently had more eye problems. But the most interesting thing was that over the last year, I've met three of our subscribers in some really strange places. One at a shop in Armidale, another one on the Great Eastern Highway when we broke down, and another one at the Perth train stations. It's really great to catch up with you guys. I feel like I've got Alzheimer's because people recognise me and I don't know who they are. But thanks for stopping to chat, that's really good. A mate of mine told me about this technique for inspecting the under deck by lifting the front of the mower up with block and tackle. Wouldn't have thought of this, but it was a really good idea. Well, that mower works properly now. This is what you have to do, Paul. You have to do what's called maintenance. That's changing blades and doing all that sort of work. The skinny one has brought some plants. Oh, look, he's brought lots of plants. And he's brought the special ones with spikes on them.
Yep. Kangaroo paws.
Yeah.
I know these ones are growing. The other ones at home haven't grown yet, so they might.
Measure once, cut twice. Julie wants this to be her little office space. So when I put the asbestos sheeting back on, I've painted over it to protect it from the environment, and now I'm actually putting the wooden strips back on the gaps. I've replaced the old stuff with new stuff and modified how the shelves are going to go back in. I've also got a brand new toy, or at least one of these brand new toys, and I absolutely love it. Before I bought my nail guns, I did a lot of research. This one's a finishing nailer and it's used for putting trim on just like I am now. It's no good for doing framing. I've got another nail gun that's for framing, which will push a 3 to 4 inch nail straight through solid wood that you use to make up the frames of a building. You'll see this a bit later on. And just for anyone who's scared about the asbestos I might be breathing in, I'm not nailing through the asbestos, I'm just going into the wood. Besides which, I work at Whitney. Part of the job for this weekend is to try and repair where some white ants have got in. I've actually taken one post out already, it was completely gone. And there's a few others that we're just going to patch up a little bit. There's a bit of white ant damage here, but most of the wood is good. And we'll just sister a couple of bits onto places like this so we provide a bit more support back up there again. This is the outside wall. I've taken the weatherboards off. Surprisingly, it's in pretty good nick. This is the one section, the post that I've taken out from inside. I've got to remove him, and then we'll replace it up to the top. And once that's done, pretty much the outside can go back on. It was not as much damage as I was expecting. The one thing I'm trying to avoid doing is removing all these asbestos sheets. It's actually quite difficult. To do that, you've got to take half the window frame off, you've got to take the sunshade off, and then there's a 1 inch by 1 inch batten that goes all the way across, and that's got to come off. And it's just time consuming and hard, and these sheets themselves are very heavy. So if I can get them up, get this one post up in through the wall, that'll all be a good job. And this is a repair job, it's not a renovation or a whatever the other word is, restoration. So we're just going to make it work. Unfortunately, I bought the wrong size posts from Bunnings, and we had to use something that I'd already had at the shed, but they're a little bit too short. And here we are, just measuring the post length from inside the school itself to the top post or top rail down to the bottom. Then we'll knock out what's left over that white ant-eaten post that's there. It's amazing, these construction techniques that we used over 100 years ago, and also these nails that have been whacked in through 4-inch jarrah. They're really hard to get out, and when we do pull them out, the bits that are inside the wood are still bright and shiny like they were put there yesterday. The wood you can see on the inside part of the frame is the wood that's decorating the outside or inside wall up to about waist height. On this side of the wall is also a jarrah bookshelf that goes from one length of the from one end of the room to the other. And that mistake was in there intentionally just to prove that I'm not an AI generated voice. Steve's wandering around doing a bit of gardening. Paul is preparing the beam to go in, and he's just cutting a notch in for that cross angle that's there that supports the walls and keeps it steady. Steve's back. He's just going to supervise the cabinet maker and make sure he's doing a good job. And in it goes. Hopefully it fits properly. Well, of course it did. We measured once and cut twice.
What's he going to do here?
Bridge.
It's too far.
That works for them.
You recording?
Yeah.
Floating around.
Facing the wrong way, but
Stop recording.